Okay, so we're gonna start today just sitting, facing one direction, doesn't matter which way. Nice and tall. Your feet can be flat on the floor. They can be out a little bit further if you have tighter hip flexors. They can be closer to you if you can sit tall in this position. Okay, you don't need to towel yet. So from here, if you want to grab your knees, you can. You can have your hands by your side. Just want you to take some breath. So nice and tall. Big inhale into that rib cage. And then nice long exhale. Let's get that rib cage to connect down toward our pelvis as we exhale. Do that a few times. Big inhale. Nice long exhale. And like I said, for people with tight hip flexors or maybe even hamstrings, this can even be a challenge just sitting in this position. So try your best just to stay nice and tall and keep that position as you breathe. A couple more big deep breaths. Thinking about expanding your rib cage outward. And then letting every single ounce of air out as you exhale. One more time. Long inhale. And nice long exhale to finish that off. Okay, you're going to keep sitting in this position. Put your feet together and knees together. And we're going to continue to breathe. You can breathe however you want. But I just want you to let those knees float out to the side as far as you feel comfortable, as far as your knees will float. Hold there, and then just bring them back to the middle. We might as well do an inhale as we float those knees out. And then an exhale as those knees come back to the middle. You can keep your arms out in front. You can keep your arms by your side. Either way is fine. Exhale back to the middle. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale out. Exhale back. And 1 more. Inhale out. And exhale back. Now you can bring your hands to your knees again. Sit nice and tall. And we'll do a little bit of flexion. So if you have that rolled up towel, I just want you to put it right behind your tailbone. If you need to stay neutral today, you can do this neutral too, just a nice lean back. But we're going to start with a little bit of flexion if you can. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, I just want you to tuck your pelvis and roll off those sits bones and just come to a nice elongated C curve. You're not rolling down too far, just to where your tailbone or the back of your low back kind of touches that towel. Inhale here, and then exhale, come back up. Okay, inhale nice and tall. Exhale, elongated flexion. So you're tucking your pelvis while you're staying long through your whole spine. Find that nice long C curve. Just hold that. Inhale, exhale, come back up. You can keep your hands on your knees for now. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, tuck and roll. That towel's there just to give you a little bit of support in that bottom position. Should feel pretty good. Inhale, exhale, come back up. Last one. Inhale, exhale, tuck. And inhale, exhale, come back up. Okay, we're going to add the knees to that. So what I want you to do is you can take your hands off your knees for now. Bring your hands out front or just by your side. As your knees come out to the side, do your best to try and extend a little bit more through your upper back. Almost feel like you're shining a light from your sternum toward the ceiling and hold that. Okay, inhale, and then as you exhale, those knees are going to come back in. You can keep your hands off your knees if you want to. You can keep your hands on, but keep your hands off for now. As your knees come back in, you're rolling back into flexion just like we just did. Okay, inhale, and then exhale, you're coming back up. Knees go out as you come into a little bit of extension, so a little bit of even past that neutral position. Shining the light from your sternum toward the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, roll off those sits bones, knees come back in, back to flexion. Do that a few more times. Inhale, exhale, knees float out, extending through that upper back. Hold that. Exhale, knees come back in, rolling off, elongated C curve. Last time, coming up and extending as the knees float out. And then exhaling, rolling off those sits bones as the knees come back in. Okay, one more thing here. So come back to that neutral position with the knees together. Bring your hands out front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll, tuck. Find that C curve. Find that position where you're supported with the towel behind you. And you can let those knees stay together right now, okay? So you're holding this nice long C curve position. Now as you exhale, I want you to just bring one leg up and then lower it back down. And then exhale, other leg comes up and you lower it back down. And continue to do that. Up and down. Now really use that exhale as you lift the leg. Try and stay out of those hip flexors. Try and use the core to lift your leg, okay? And that breath will help you do that. One more on each side. Last one. Both feet come down and you roll back up. One more set here. I'm going to add something to this, so you can take this if you want to. If not, you can just do what we just did, okay? So same thing to start. Roll off, find that C curve, hold, lift one leg, lower it down, lift the other leg. Now you can continue to alternate, or you can lift one leg and then lift the other leg and hold that position. Now you can hold here, or you can extend one leg at a time and then bring it back down. The other leg extends and back down. And then you can go into reciprocation here if you want to. So you can extend one leg as the other leg bends. And try and find width through your shoulders too, as much as you can as you do this. And we'll do that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees bend, both feet come back down, and you're coming all the way back up. Good. All right, you can take that towel out. We'll use that in a second, but put it to the side. And then I'll just have you lay down on your back now. Give those hip flexors a little bit of a break. So once you're down on your back, let's go ahead and bring our hands right by our side. Try and connect that rib cage down toward our pelvis. And we'll do a little bit of pelvic movement here. So take an inhale to lengthen, and then exhale. You're just going to tuck your pelvis and imprint your low back. And then you're going to inhale, and you're going to go the opposite way. You're rocking away from you, letting that tailbone kind of sink down into the floor and arching your low back. Exhale, imprint your low back. And inhale, expand your rib cage and arch your low back. I'll just have you do that a few times. Make sure you're really focusing on that breath. Nice. 2 more times back and forth. And last one. All right, come back to neutral. And let's go just to the full pelvic clock. We won't go side to side. First, we'll just do the full thing. So I want you to inhale, lengthen again, exhale, tuck to what would be 12 o'clock toward your belly button. Now you're just going to roll your pelvis in a nice circular motion, getting as much motion as you can. Make sure you're hitting every single portion of that circle or that clock. So make it slow and continue that nice same breath pattern. So it's the exhale as you imprint, it's the inhale, which will facilitate your extension as you reach your tailbone away. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And as you come around to 12, pause and then go the opposite direction. Inhale away and exhale, imprint. Do your best to keep your length on both sides. So you're really reaching those hips down and away from you the whole time. You don't want your hips hiking up toward your rib cage on either side. Right. One more. All right, you come back to neutral. Hands can stay by your side. We're going to do a little bit of bridging here. So it's going to be the tuck, and we're just going to take a little bit further. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, tuck that pelvis back toward your belly button, and then you're going to continue to roll. Your low back comes up first, then your mid back all the way through to your upper back. At the top position, find that nice long line. Feel that like you have length through your knees. Inhale. And then as you exhale and lower down, keep that tailbone reaching toward the knees the whole time. It's going to help you articulate through your spine a lot better, all the way down until your tailbone rests and you come back to neutral. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, tuck. Nice and slow. Find where you might have some sticky spots through your spine and kind of move through those a little bit. Inhale, exhale, rolling back down. Feel each vertebrae land on the mat or the floor underneath you. One more time. Tuck and roll all the way up And I want you to hold at the top this time. Okay, and we're gonna do some alternating reaches of the legs. So as you exhale, let's connect through our left heel, reach your right leg straight out, point, flex the ankle, and then bring it back down. Now the right heel connects to the ground, you reach that left leg out, point the toe, flex the foot, and bring it back down. Few more. Every time you reach, do your best to, like I just cued, connect that opposite, the foot that's on the ground, that heel into the ground to keep your pelvis, keep your hips level. That's very important. Good. All right, we got one more on each side. And last one. Both feet come back down, you're rolling all the way back down. All right, one more thing here. So if you have that towel, go ahead and grab it. You can unfold it now. And then you're gonna grab about shoulder width apart, like so. And you're just gonna hold that right over your shoulders, okay? So we're gonna bridge again. We're gonna bridge up to that top position. So take an inhale, exhale, bridge up, hold there, find that nice long line, keep that nice long line, okay? And then as you exhale, you're gonna keep your hands in that same position. You're just gonna reach that towel up and overhead as far as you can maintain connection to your rib cage down toward your pelvis. And then inhale, bring it back up over your shoulders, staying in that bridge the whole time. Inhale, exhale, and inhale forward. I'm really thinking about what my rib cage is doing as I allow my hands to float up and overhead. Try and keep it in that same position, even connect it a little bit more down toward your pelvis. No flaring rib cages here. All right, two more. And last one. Hands come over your shoulders, and you're going to slowly articulate all the way back down and rest back in that neutral position. All right, from here, go ahead and bring the towel. You can just put it aside again. Do one more thing on our backs. I want your hands to come by your side. One more time. We're gonna bring our both legs to tabletop. So let's do that one at a time. Take an inhale, exhale, take one leg to tabletop. Inhale, exhale, connect, bring that second leg to tabletop. Okay, hands will stay by your side. You'll need that for a little bit of support. We'll do side to side. So as you exhale, let's allow our knees and our feet kind of as one unit to float out to one side. The opposite hip can lift, that's fine, but you need to keep your shoulders grounded on the mat. And then exhale, bring it back to the middle. So it's an inhale, they float in one unit off to one side, hold, and then exhale, connect through that opposite oblique to bring it back to the center. One more time on each side. Last one. Good. Now, if you want to keep doing that, you can. Otherwise, you can add to this. So you float the knees out. From here, you can exhale and extend both legs, bring them back to tabletop, and then exhale, bring them back to the middle. If that's too much on your low back, go ahead and stay with your knees in tabletop the whole time. Good. Couple more. And if you really want to challenge this morning, you can keep your legs straight the whole time and do the same thing. Okay, if that gets into your low back, like I said, go back to the previous variations. Keeping those shoulders on the mat. One more time on each side. Last one. Back to the middle, and you can bring both legs back down to the mat. All right. From here, I'm going to have you come to side lying, kind of propped up on your elbow. Either side. We'll do both sides, obviously. So I want your elbow right underneath your shoulder. I want your hips stacked. And then the back of your body is in line. So head over ribcage over hips. If you have a wall, you can line yourself up with the wall or the mat underneath you. Okay. Knees are going to be bent to start. Make sure this elbow is right underneath the shoulder. It's really important. You're lifting up through this side. So I'm in a nice neutral position here. That's what you want, okay? Keep that top hand on the hip. Take an inhale, exhale. You're just gonna lift those hips off the mat, hold, and then lower back down, okay? You should feel the obliques on this side working to keep you neutral as you lift those hips off. If you feel anything in the shoulder, really think of pushing this elbow down into the mat, pushing yourself up and away because you don't want to sink down into the shoulder, okay? Good. One more, hold, and lower back down. Okay, if you want more of a challenge, you can extend those legs and flex the feet. If not, you can stick with what we just had. But same thing, find that nice neutral. So I'm still lifting up and away here. Elbow still right underneath my shoulder. As I exhale now, my knees are coming off. I'm holding this nice long line and I'm lowering back down. Okay, I'm gonna have you do that 3 more times, bent knee or straight leg if you want. Exhale up, hold, lower back down. 2 more. Feel that side work, lower back down. Last one. And lower all the way down. Good, let's do the other side quick. Okay. So same thing on this side. You want this elbow right underneath that shoulder. Start with bent knees. Line your back of your body up, lifting actively up and away through this side, hand on top of the hip. Exhale, lift up, hold, and back down. And again. Also think about what your head is doing. A lot of us might have forward head posture, so you might have to tuck that chin a little bit and try and keep that head in line with the spine. If you can see yourself, one more time. All right, now you can extend those legs if you want to. We'll do 4 more, either variation, all right? So exhale, lifting up, holding, and lowering back down. 3 more, inhale, exhale up, back down. 2 more. And last one. Good, and lower all the way back down. Perfect. All right, we're gonna do one more side lying thing. We don't need a towel for this. We can flip around and do the opposite side again, the one that we started with. I want you to be on your side like this, so your arm is kind of supporting your head and your arm is reaching up and away. You can start, let's all start with our bottom leg bent, a little bit less than 90 degrees here. More, I should say, more than 90 degrees hip to knee. Okay, still active through this side. This top leg is gonna lift up in line with this top hip and you're gonna hold that, okay? So find yourself a good position to start. And then as you exhale, I want you to lift that leg toward the ceiling. Inhale, lower it back down. You can keep the toe pointed the whole time too. Let's keep that toe pointed so we're really reaching out of this hip to maintain our length between our ribcage and our pelvis there. Nice and slow. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 3 more. 2. And 1. Okay, we're gonna go into a little bit of hip flexion and extension. So I want you to flex the foot as you bring the leg forward as far as it feels comfortable, and then point the toe as you point it back. Now you can bring your leg behind you a little bit, but make sure that your spine stays right where it is. So the challenge is, as you point the toe and bring it back, you don't want to extend through that low back. Use your exhale, keep your rib cage back, keep your low back where it is. Now, if you want even more of a challenge here, you can extend that bottom leg out, and that's going to make it a lot harder to control that top leg. So you have less of a base of support underneath you. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one. Inhale, flex the foot. Exhale, point the toe. Okay, keep the foot there. Keep pointing the toe. We're doing little circles now. Keep reaching long through that hip. You should be feeling the burn in the outer hip, the top leg now. Okay, keep circling, keep reaching. There's small circles. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, reverse direction. Keep lifting up and away through the side, closest to the mat. 3, 2, 1, and one more thing here. So you can bring your foot down for a second, give it a rest. I want you to bring that top foot so it's pointing at about I think you guys can see it, at about a 45-degree angle, kind of toward the ceiling. So you're in Pilates V with that top foot. Okay, so now as you exhale, I want you to drag that toe on your bottom foot and try and get as much external rotation through this knee as possible while keeping your hips stacked. So hips are stacked, externally rotate through that knee. Now you extend that leg toward the ceiling, and then you're going to bring it back down to meet the other leg again. Again, it's a drag of the toe, externally rotate this knee toward the ceiling as much as possible, extend up, pointing the toe, coming back down. 4 more. Extend and back down. And 3. And 2. Really get that hip to open up there if you can. And last one. And rest. Good. All right, let's do the other side. So I just have you flip around. Find that same position, bottom arm extended up and overhead, that your head can rest on that arm. See my feet. Okay. So you can start with the bottom leg straight if you want, or bent, either way again. Find that nice long line through your spine. Exhale as you lift that leg toward the ceiling. Inhale as it comes back down, just in line with the hip. Exhale toward the ceiling. Inhale back down. I tend to like my top hand right on my hip here, so I can even facilitate length. I can push down a little bit as I lift that leg, just so that I'm staying long through the top side. Couple more. All right, last one. Okay, and then we'll do that hip flexion and extension. Again, you can keep the knee bent or straight if you want, the bottom one. And you're gonna flex the foot as it comes toward your camera, point the toe as it comes back in line with the hip, or a little bit further if you feel like you can maintain neutral through your spine. Flex the foot forward, point the toe back. Like I said before, if you want more of a challenge, it's that extended bottom leg. It will give you a lot less base of support. 2 more. Last one. Okay, keep the foot there. Point the toe, reach long. We'll do some circles one direction. Keep that length through your spine. Right. And reverse that direction. And we'll just do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Now both legs are going to be straight. Top foot will be an external rotation a little bit. Keep those hips stacked though. Okay, we're going to drag that toe on our bottom leg, externally rotate that knee as much as you can, extend the leg up and back down. Now that leg doesn't have to extend too far up toward the ceiling. It's going to depend on your mobility, but only extend the leg up as far as you can maintain stacked hips. So you might extend it out a little bit more, and that's fine. Four more. Dragging that toe, externally rotate, up and down. 3, 2, and last one. All right, and rest. Good. Perfect. Okay, we'll do a few more exercises on our stomach now. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. You can just lay on your stomach like so, and I'm gonna have your hands come underneath your shoulders and your elbows toward the ceiling. So you're kind of in like a grasshopper position here. Okay. Head is gonna be facing straight down to start. Just gonna get a little bit of extension through our upper back. So take an inhale, we're gonna lengthen our spine. As you exhale, feel like you're pushing your pubic bone down into the mat. As you start to lift head, neck, and shoulders, you're allowing those shoulder blades to slide down your back. And you're just lifting through your upper back. So your mid back, your low back should not be moving much. Inhale at the top and then exhale, reach that ribcage forward as you come back down and rest back to that neutral position. So again, inhale, exhale, shoulder blades come down, elbows kind of cinch together a little bit. Hold, inhale, exhale, reach that ribcage forward and come back down. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. And your gaze is important. It should be about a 45-degree angle in front of you. Don't look straight ahead of you. That's going to put too much stress on your cervical spine, your neck. You want your neck to follow your spine. And lower down. Okay, 1 more. Hold. And lowering all the way back down. Good. Okay, now I want your hands to come on top of each other and your forehead will come onto your hands. So you're just resting your forehead there. Let's bend our knees and then bring our heels together. So we're in Pilates V and your feet are right about above your knees. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of glute work. As you exhale, keep pushing your hips down into the mat, but allow your knees to come and try and clear your thighs a little bit too off of that mat. So it's gonna be just a push up toward the ceiling. Hold, you should feel your glutes squeeze, and then slowly lower back down. If your thighs can't clear the mat, that's fine. Just do your best to bring your knees off and your thighs off and lower back down. If you feel anything in your low back, push your hips down a little bit more into the mat and decrease the range of motion. Okay, so it's just up, hold, come back down. Exhale as you push up and come back down. And you can imagine you have like a dinner plate on top of your feet and you're just raising it straight toward the ceiling, holding, coming back down. Few more. Find that squeeze and hold that for a second. Okay, 5 more. Up, pause, and back down. 4, and 3, and 2. You should really be feeling that now. And 1 more. Up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. You can extend those legs out behind you. Good. Okay, we're gonna do 1 more thing here. So let's bring our hands back. Let's actually bring our hands out to the side if you have room. And your thumbs are gonna face the ceiling. Your gaze is straight down again. Okay. From here, I want you to, again, lift up into that extension. You can keep your hands on the floor for now. And then lift those thighs off of the mat. So you're pointing your toes long behind you and your legs are clearing the mat underneath you. So you're kind of in like a Superman position here. If you can now, you're gonna lift those hands off the mat and hold that position. So you're in upper back extension, legs are off, arms are off, and now we're just gonna do some pulses with our arms. So allow those thumbs to just float toward the ceiling. Feel that activation through your upper back. Keep breathing. Every time you exhale, see if you can get a little bit more extension through your upper back, but don't lift too much higher. Just feel like your upper back is lifting. Those mid ribs, low ribs are sinking down into the mat. And let's do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. 1 more thing here. So you come up onto your knees. If you guys have a foam roller, like I said, or an overball, you can grab that. You could also use that towel that we used earlier, just rolled up. I personally like a foam roller, but overball is going to be a little bit more forgiving. So what I just want you to do is put the overball, foam roller, or towel, doesn't matter which one, right kind of on your upper back, because we're going to extend over it. Okay. So your feet are gonna be flat, knees bent, hands come behind your head once you're in that position. Okay, so we were just doing extension on the mat. Now we'll do it over the foam roller or whatever you're laying on. So what I want you to do is be careful with this, but take an inhale and only go as far as your body's going to tolerate. But exhale, just allow your upper back to float over whatever's underneath you. And as you exhale too, try and get that rib cage to float away from the ceiling. It's important, especially in this position. It's easy to allow that rib cage to pop up toward the ceiling. So once you finish that exhale, go ahead and inhale again. Keep that extension, and then exhale. Maybe you go a little bit further, opening through the chest, but keeping your rib cage down. Once you feel like you found that kind of absolute extension position, just hold that for a second and breathe into your rib cage. Exhale, connect that rib cage to the pelvis. 2 more breaths. Inhale. It should almost feel like you're lifting up and over whatever's underneath you. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, float your rib cage down. And then you can slowly come back to neutral and rest. All right. I think that is all we have time for. So